Nuggets Wolves had me a little bit worried at the start of the game. Wolves got off to a hot start. DiVincenzo hitting all those threes. Jokic and Jamal both looked pretty timid throughout that first quarter, even Jokic until the end of the first half. But in the second half, especially, both Jokic and Jamal really got things going. Wasn't Jamal's most efficient game, but he got to the free throw line at an insane rate, went 16 of 16 from the stripe, which is simply not something that the Wolves can afford in what is going to be a pretty close-cut series, no matter how you look at it. Wolves did not look amazing. Randall, again, his playoff struggles showed up. And then Ant, coming off that injury, really did not look like the Ant Edwards that we all know and love. So if he's not able to up his game in the playoffs here, it is looking like this is going to be a pretty quick series. Another big plus for the Nuggets is having an Aaron Gordon that seems mostly healthy at this point, has some great activity on the offensive glass, gave them some extra possessions, and mentally that is going to wear on Minnesota's defense, knowing that even if they play 24 seconds of great defense, even if Jokic doesn't bail the Nuggets out, there's always that potential for AG to just parachute in there, get an offensive rebound, and create another look for the Nuggets. So great activity from him. Expect to see that throughout the series. All signs seem to indicate that this was Minnesota's best chance of taking a win in Denver. This was their best chance to punch the Nuggets in the mouth before they knew what's coming. Now that they've played one game, Denver really seemed to settle in, seemed to understand a lot of the defensive schemes that Minnesota was running, really took advantage of those. Again, Jamal getting to the line 16 times. That does speak to the level of confidence that the Nuggets have in exploiting Minnesota's defense, which is not something that they were able to do in the matchup 2 seasons ago or even throughout the regular season. But again, come playoff time, completely different game. Wolves look depleted. Nuggets look as good as they have, aside from that slow start. The X factors in this series are going to be the number 2 options on each team. That is obviously Randall and Murray. Murray, famous playoff riser. We see that every season from him. Randall, quite the opposite. Always seem to see his efficiency drop, his numbers drop, his mood go down. We are seeing that again already throughout game 1. He looks flustered out there. Jamal had that issue early, but again, he settled in. This is what he does. He lives for the playoffs. Randall evidently does not, and with Ant unable to pick up his slack, it does seem as if Minnesota is just outmatched. With that in mind, it is crucial that Minnesota can get more production from their bench. Naz Reid, Bones Hyland, Ayo Dosunmu, those are likely going to be the only guys providing consistent points and minutes off the bench. So they do need those guys to maximize that as much as they can, because the Nuggets simply have the superior starting 5. If it comes down to both starting lineups at the end of a game, I am taking the Nuggets every time. So the Wolves need to try to get a cushion if they can in those bench player minutes. An interesting matchup we saw was the Gobert-Jokic matchup. Gobert had a very good game offensively, very efficient. Good start to the game defensively in that first half when he was one of the primary defenders on Jokic, limiting his points, limiting his offensive impact. As the second half rolled around and the game went on, though, Minnesota did move away from how they had been defending Jokic thus far. They had been denying him the ball anytime he didn't have it. And when he did have the ball, they were putting pressure on him to make a pass, try to play make while clogging up the passing lanes. That created a whole bunch of turnovers early, frustrated Jokic, which is always a good thing for the Wolves. It can be quite easy to get into Jokic's head if you can just force a few bad turnovers on him. But as the game went on, they let him settle into his rhythm, played him more straight up with some one-on-one action, and if you do that, Jokic is going to outscore you every time. After game 1, it looks like the Nuggets have everything they have to complete a sweep. I don't think it will be a sweep. Sweeps are more rare in the playoffs than they probably should be, but it is tough to win 4 games in a row against the same opponent. Schemes are always going to be changing from game to game. Some players can have hot or cold shooting nights. So for that reason, I do think this is an easier series for the Nuggets than I initially thought. But I do think that it is over in 5. I don't think they can quite complete the clean sweep.